Hi, welcome to Whiskey and Wool. I think this is episode 63. I always like that number 63. I hope you enjoy today. Welcome returning viewers and new viewers alike. If you're not already a subscriber and you like what you see, please subscribe, hit subscribe and the thumbs up button. That will really help my little channel grow. I've been lucky enough to grow quite, at nice increments over the last year or so that I've been podcasting. Today I'm not going to have any whiskey chatter just because it's kind of early and I have like a few other things I really want to get done today, and I don't feel like it. But I do want to share with you, if you're not already watching my Vlogmases, I am getting some amazing little whiskey samples very excited about this one. I'm getting some amazing whiskey samples in my whiskey advent calendar. You can watch me on Vlogmas opening the whiskey advent calendar along with my yarn and fiber advent calendars throughout the month of December, so you get to see them all. And I will definitely come back to you with a whiskey sampling and some whiskey chat in my next episode and many other episodes after that. It's just today I just need a little break from doing a little whiskey chat just so I can be productive later on. I don't always drink more than just a sample, but I just don't want to be pinned in by whatever. You get it, right? Anyway, let's jump into the knitting chatter, because I have some knitting chatter, some spinning chatter, and then also some stash acquisition chatter. So I want to jump right into my first FO, and it's not what you think. I wish that sweater was done. It is very close, and I do think I'll finish it this weekend. But anyway, I have been gift knitting, and I have finished my first gift knit. This is the Racerback tee by Breeze Racerback by Jessie Maed Designs. And this is size extra small. It's quite little for a person it will fit perfectly. It might even be a little big on her. But I love knitting for little people. It's so fast. Like if you've ever knit children's knits and stuff like that, this is not for a child, but just for a smaller person than Martha. Martha would wear this if she could fit in it, but she's a little too big for this. But anyway, this is the Breeze Racerback, and you can see it is got a T-back in the back, and then this is the front that I'm showing you here. I think it's a one skein project up through maybe the extra large, and then after that it might be like a skein and some more. But it's such a cool, I have two of these for myself and I love them. I wear them a lot in the summertime. They're just really cozy and comfortable. Like I'll throw them on actually over my pajamas in the morning just to look a little more presentable, because, who needs to see this stuff not supported in the morning? But yeah, anyway, Breeze Racerback tank, ready for its presentation at Christmas time, and I have a pretty substantial amount of the yarn left. The yarn is Stitched Together Studio. This is the colorway that's part of the Cash Club, Johnny Cash Club collection, and it is a really cool cream and charcoal with variegated base with speckles of blue, and yeah, this is, I have about 40 grams left, which I need to make the Ripple Bralette, which I think the Ripple Bralette and the Breeze Racerback make a really nice pairing together. Those two together, I need about 30 grams to make a, medium or so size Ripple Bralette, and for this person I'm making the extra small. So I have plenty of yarn left to make the Ripple Bralette, so this will be a really cute little set that I'm going to be gifting to someone who is near and dear to me this Christmas. So yeah, that is my finished object for the week. Works in progress. Returning viewers, I am still slogging away on a new design that I have been working on for a long time, and I would have it on Martha, except that I want to give you an up close and personal look of the view of this. Okay, so here we are. Here is where I am at with this sweater. So last time I had about half of a sleeve done. I now have a full sleeve done. Again, I've said this before, but if you're a new viewer, you may not have heard it, so I will tell you too. This is a rib knit, so once I block it, this ribbing will really expand and stretch out. I have a swatch of what will happen to it, so you can see there's really a stark difference in the swatch texture versus the sample. So this swatch looked like this until I blocked it. So I think once I block this is going to have a lot of expansion. It's probably going to look more like that, like when the yarn and the stitch pattern relax. So that's why this arm looks so skinny. This is for me. This is meant to be for me. And anyway, I was about halfway through the sleeve last time. I have now finished the sleeve, and I'm about halfway through the second sleeve. I still have to do the neckline trim, so if you see me looking over to the left, it's because that's where my laptop is showing me what you're seeing, so that way I can I have that kind of camera, because I know some cameras have the screen view on it, so it's not easy for me to look at the camera and also see what you're seeing. So anyway, the trim here will be done in the open space here will be a rib knit button placket. So that is the last step. So anyway, halfway through the sleeve, the second sleeve, once I finish the second sleeve and the neck, I'm going to block it. I'm hoping that'll be sometime tomorrow because I would like to have this done. I already have yarn queued up for the second and third version of this. The pattern is my own design that I expect to be published sometime in March. I don't think, or maybe I should say spring. I'm in no rush. I don't make money from my pattern publications. Most collected pattern is my free sock pattern that I took a vintage sock pattern from like the 1940s and I rewrote it with modern terms. That's all I did. So that's perfectly free. You can download that anytime if you are curious about my knitting or my pattern writing style. I also wrote it a couple years ago and I've learned a lot. So I think my pattern writing is better now. And then I also, my top selling pattern is a stocking pattern, Christmas stocking pattern. I have two versions that sell for $6 each. I have a third version that I should have published long ago and I never did. If you want to know more about my stockings, I think I'm going to be talking about it. This is Vlogmas Day 7. So I think I'll be talking about it in my vlog today or tomorrow. So I'll be showing my stocking patterns and then what we do as a family with those stocking patterns. I digressed. So anyway, here we go. This is the sweater. It's basically a layering tee. Let me tell you a little bit about the history of it. I have a J. Crew fine gauge layering tee that I spec'd out and I sketched and spec'd out, and that is what I'm using as a model for this. I tend to call that layering tee from J. Crew. I call it like my uniform. It's something that is super easy to put on with a pair of like dark jeans. I put one of those sweaters on, dark jeans and boots. That's what I wear in the winter. I need more, and I decided this time around I was going to, instead of buying more from J. Crew at like $80 or $90 a pop, I was gonna make them. So that's the impetus of this design. I decided to do a variation with this Henley. The pattern that I'm planning to publish will be this is a stitch pattern called Mistake Rib. I can just show it to you up close there. The pattern that I'm planning to release will have the option of doing a Henley or just a plain crew neck, and it will have a couple different stitch patterns, including like stockinette for a basic pattern and different rib patterns. And of course you can go to your own stitch dictionary and pick out your own stitch pattern to if you have a hankering to make a particular stitch pattern. So there will be instructions in the pattern for all of that. That is the plan. But right now I just need to get through this and finish it because this has been hanging around for a good long while. The yarn info, here it is. The yarn I'm using is Qing Fibre tweed sock. It's 100% merino. I believe it's superwash even though it doesn't say so here. Qing Fibre is a UK based dyer. I was pretty crazy about Qing Fibre for several months back in 2017 to 2018. So I bought a lot of her stuff. I joined her clubs and I collected a lot of her yarn. Not to say that I don't still really love her. I do, but behind me, you really can't see, but behind me I have roughly 85 or so, 90 single skeins of indie dyed yarn. So I'm not looking for any more single skeins of indie dyed yarn. In fact, I'm looking for things to do with my single skeins of indie dyed yarn. So hopefully that is the only reason why I don't buy more. Hopefully you'll see those. I have other people who I adore, like Stitch Together Studio and Olann. She's an Ireland based dyer. But yeah, anyway, that is what you're seeing. Oh, the colorway is called Panda. And I know it's still a colorway that's in her repertoire, but I have not seen this tweed sock for a long, long time. And to be frank, like this tweed sock is pretty beefy. It's definitely either a heavy fingering weight or a light sport weight. I'm not sure really which you would call it, but it's pretty thick. Like when I knitted up the swatch for the sweater, the gauge was a little bit bigger than what I was getting on my regular fingering weight. So there's that. Not a necessarily commonly seen base in Qing Fibre's repertoire, but commonly seen color. And I think Panda looks a little different when it's not on a tweed base. Like the thing with this, I could show you better with this, is that there's a consistent black strand in the plies here. So that's why you're seeing that black over and over. And I think Panda is sort of like a gray to black skein with multiple colors, like with rainbow colors. So yeah, anyway, I like it. I like the sweater. What I don't like, what I realized why I'm so slow is because I am alternating skeins in the sleeve, and I normally don't do that for sleeves, but the color differential from skein to skein was pretty big. Like I think you can see it here. Yeah, you can definitely. Like look how much darker this is versus that. And when I was knitting the sleeves, I didn't alternate, or the sleeve cap, I didn't alternate skeins just because it was just too, like you're doing short rows and stuff, and I just didn't want to deal with 2 skeins of yarn. But you can see that was why I introduced the alternating skeins once I got through the sleeve cap. So yeah. They are tipped with this beautiful bright yellow color from Little Gray Sheep. I just thought it was a really nice little touch, the bright yellow. And the trim that goes around, the trim that'll be on the placket and around the neck will also have the yellow tipping. So this is going to be not quite as sophisticated. It's a little more low-key style pullover, and I expect a lot of stretching in the a lot of growth in the blocking. So I can't wait to get this done. I think this is like the 5th or 6th episode, which means I've been working on this. I think I started this in August, so it's been a long haul. However, I have not been monogamous. So had I been monogamous, it would be done by now. Okay. I didn't necessarily say what I'm wearing. I'm in terms of my sweater. This is the Elton cardigan by Joji Locatelli. I will put the link to my pattern, my project page, so you can see more about the yarn. I knit this last spring and I love it. I have since made 2 other Elton cardigans, not doing alternating stripes though, and I have a 3rd one queued up ready for me to knit whenever I have time. For gift knitting, the things I would do with my time. Okay, next, work in progress. Martha is wearing my other piece that got a lot of love this time around. This is the, hang on, let me get the bag. This is by a Japanese designer called, her name is Iri Shimizu. And this is the cardigan, or the pullover. It's called achikochi, I think, achikochi. I will have put a colored picture on screen for you. I am just past the sleeve split, which is why Martha's wearing it. I love this. I thought this would be something that would help ease me into the holiday spirit, because it's not screaming Christmas, but it could be Christmas-y, Christmas-ish. So I thought it would be a really fun knit. Turns out there's this interesting little cable detail down the side seams that made it less than a mindless knit after you pass the sleeves, the split for the sleeves. So, I mean, I'm gonna do the cable. I thought hard about not doing it, but I am gonna do the cable detail. It's only 8 stitches wide, so I think I can handle that. And you do something every row, but you're only making the cable, I think, every 4th row or something like that. I don't remember. So that kind of tabled that, as well as me just trying to get the gift knit done gift knit that I was working on, as well as that sleeve on my layering piece that will soon be my uniform. All right, let me tell you about the yarn that this is. I love this yarn. So the base, the gray you're seeing, is Lammermuir. It is a Shetland wool sheep that is homegrown Shetland lamb's wool with selected Romney, and yeah, there you go. It's grown in Scotland. I bought it at EYF, Edinburgh Yarn Festival, this past March. So you can see the stats there. The color's Essay. I think it's a pretty much like a natural gray color. I really love the hand, though, the way it feels. It's just super soft and supple. And the red. The red is super special, the red/pink. Yeah, I was like, why isn't this attached? It's because I'm done with this part for a while. The red is my own hand spun. I spun it out of yarn or fiber from SpinCityUK. The colorway is called Punjabi. And I didn't do any color management at all on this skein. When you looked at the outside, it was like bright red and pink, and then the inside had a layer of black fiber. So that's what makes the black through there. There are little flecks. I think you can see them. There's a little bit of sparkle. There's little flecks of like blue, and you can see green in there. And there is a little bit of sparkle from time to time, which I think you can just catch a glint of as I turn it around. But yeah, this was a fun spin. Really fun spin. I love the way it looks. I think it looks so good. This little neck trim detail will, I hope, block out to nice and flat, and also it's a little bit of a broad neck. So if I decide I don't really like the way it looks on me, I may put in a 1x1 rib ahead of that, like from here up, like just go through and pick up stitches and do a 1x1 rib. I'm not really sure. I did do short rows, so I did short rows, so you can see, like, see how droopy that back neck is? I think you can see. I think you can see, right? Here, let me give you a little bit slightly better view. There you go. So see, this is the natural back neck right up here. You see that seam line, and then this is the t-shirt. I know it's hard to see because everything's white. This is the t-shirt. So you see how much lower it is? Like that kind of is going to drive me crazy. It's going to make my back neck feel cold when I'm wearing this. So I don't know, I'm going to see what happens. I did put in short rows, so you can see I have a pretty significant section of short rows. I did 10 rows over here. So let me turn her back around so you can see the difference. So see how this is, there's only about a 1/2 inch here between the texture and here, but the back has about 2. So those are my short rows. I just went back and forth 5 times for a total of 10 rows, just to help raise that back neck up. So I'm going to see what happens in blocking. That should correct itself in blocking, because this pattern had you just cast on the neck and go straight into the chart. So there was no opportunity to put back rows or short rows in the back before the trim. And again, if I don't really like the way the neck fits, like if it seems too broad, I will go in there and just pick up stitches and modify like with a 1x1 neckband. So one of the things that we do as knitters, that is why we hand knit, so that we can custom make our sweaters that fit us and that we feel good in. Okay, I have one other cast on, one other knit thing. So I have started a second Breeze Racerback, and I'm literally just past the rib. This is yet another gift knit for another young lady in my life. So there you go. I have barely passed the rib. I freaking love this yarn color though. I'm so excited to be finally using it. This is like some pretty deep stash. I did use this, if you're a longtime viewer, you may remember that I used this in a baby blanket. I ran out of rainbow and I needed a little bit more rainbow. I ended up with a little over 300 grams left, which is plenty for the Breeze Racerback. The Breeze Racerback takes about 300 grams. In this case, I'm knitting size small, but I just love how rainbowy this is, and I think I'm just really gonna love seeing this, like this cool little tank top on the recipient. So very excited about that. This one's size small instead of extra small. The other one was extra small. Very excited to get this done. It seems to take me about 8 to 10 days to make a Breeze Racerback, like with all the other knitting that I do. I've talked about this before, but it's been a long while, so maybe just as a refresher, the reason that I have multiple things on my needles is that because one, I get bored. So if I'm just like sitting on my couch knitting for a stretch of hours, I do get bored knitting the same thing. So instead of like putting it down and doing something other than knitting, I'll put a project down and pick up another project, and then it's interesting to me and it keeps me going, it keeps me knitting. So that is why I have multiple things on the needles. This time of year, I am pushing myself to get some gift knitting done, pushing myself through. I'm going to make these 2 sets of Breeze Racerback with the ripple bralettes for 2 women that I am giving gifts to, and then I have a plan to make the Snuggle is Real cowl for 2 men in my life. We'll see what happens. I have the yarn set aside and caked and ready to go. Maybe, will I be yes, I will. Before Christmas, I will be making an episode, if all goes as planned, ahead of Christmas in the next 2 weeks. So perhaps I'll have some of those cows that I can share with you, 1 or 2 of them. I understand they're pretty fast knits. I know the bralettes will only take me 2 days because I've made 3 of them by now, and they've only taken me 2 days a piece. And these 2 are on the small side of the scale, so I expect them to be very fast. So I know I can whip on through those, yeah, they're a fun and quick knit. I don't know about the cowl. I have no idea how long that's going to take me, but those are the only things that I'm planning to make for Christmas gifts. So if I happen to find myself with a week or so before Christmas, I may crank out a couple hats or whatever. But yeah, is that all my knitting? Oh yes, that's all my knitting. I'm going to share some stash acquisitions. I talked about this last time. I talked about doing a sock swap. So 2 episodes back, I talked about the fact that I had enough of this yarn right here. This is Ushushita squirrel sock. I had made a sweater out of this for my Rhinebeck sweater, but I had enough left over for a pair of socks, and it turns out I actually had more than I needed for a pair of socks. And I jokingly said to my viewers in that episode 2 episodes back, like episode 61, that I would be willing to swap sock knitting for handspun. And I had 2 people take me up on it, and so I shipped out yarn and some handspun that they could keep, yarn for them to knit me a pair of socks. I shipped out 2 packages to 2 different viewers, and I've already got 1 pair of socks back, so I'm so excited. These are beautiful hand knit socks by a viewer named Jamie. I didn't ask her if I could share her info with you, so I'm not going to do that without asking. So I will ask her if she says it's okay. I will pop it on screen for you here. I think she has an Instagram handle. But anyway, these are so... I've been dying to share them with you just so I can wear them. Like, I haven't wanted to wear them because I wanted to keep them nice, but these are so awesome. Like, I understand why people like hand spun or hand knit socks. And the other thing is that I realize, like, my own sock knitting, I've only made 3 pairs of socks in my life, like my own sock knitting. I don't know what I'm doing. Like, I literally don't know what I'm doing. Like, these are so much snugger, like a tighter knit. Maybe I'm a loose knitter. I might be a loose knitter because these are like, the socks that I've knit for myself have been so loose that I feel the knit stitches on the sole of my foot, and I don't like that. So that's the primary reason why I haven't been sock knitting. But maybe also I just need to practice so that I'm a better sock knitter. But on the other hand, I don't mind swapping either. Like, this was an amazing, I love spinning yarn. So to be able to spin and to get back socks, that's a match made in heaven. So I'm excited. I will share. I'm sure that by the next time I podcast, I will have another pair ready. This beautiful little heel and toe color, this is by Casual Fashion Queen. It is a club color. I'm sorry if you're hearing lots of noise. That's my kitty playing, chasing a ball. Yeah, he's pretty rowdy right now. I'm not sure why. Maybe I can show you. I can insert a picture of him playing. Yeah. So anyway, sock knitting, swap. I'm in. This was great, being rowdy. But I love it. I love it when he gets rowdy because that means he's going to be chill later. He needs a little rowdiness. Okay. What else can I share with you? All right. I'm going to get into stash Why can't I say that word now? Stacquisitions that are knitting related, and then I'm going to show you some spinning and some spinning stacquisitions. Okay. So, Stranded Dyeworks. So Stranded Dyeworks, Amy of Stranded Dyeworks, when I watched her last full episode, I don't remember what number it was, but it was a while ago. It was maybe like 10 days ago or so. She talked about how she sounded like she was very burned out and that she was just going to take a break from her work life. And she talked about the fact that she was going to be traveling again at the end of the year, so she just didn't want to commit to either making episodes for her channel or to dyeing yarn, but that whatever she had left in her shop was stuff that that was available. So I don't know why, but that sent me into a little bit of a panic buy because I have wanted this from her for the longest time. This is Limoncello. This is so Stranded Dyeworks merino aran base. This is a superwash merino, 100% in the colorway Limoncello. I've been wanting a Limoncello hat for the longest time. Who doesn't need a yellow hat, a bright yellow hat that everyone could see you from a million miles away? So I really am planning to make a hat for myself this winter. So I panic bought this as well as a sweater's quantity of this. So this is her colorway Patisserie. This is a fingering weight base. The reason I bought this was because I got this idea before the episode aired. I got this idea of pairing this with Vintage Christmas, also a BFL nylon. It's when she first started her BFL nylon base. So I got the idea of pairing these two together for a Christmas sweater. I thought it would be really, really beautiful and like sort of a subtle contrast. So I got the package, and just to like finish up Amy's story, Amy actually bought a house, which was why she was taking a break. So she will go back to dyeing. I don't want to send anybody into panic buying. I don't know, I just had this urge like, oh my gosh, let me see if she has sweater's quantity of this and a skein of limoncello, and I'm just gonna pull the trigger on it. So that's what I did. 3 skeins of this. I've caked everything because I'm prepared to start knitting. I thought this would be a really fun Christmas knit for me. Sorry, my fur buddy is going crazy over there again. So anyway, I swatched it. So here's my swatch, and I've been sharing my progress with these purchases and stuff on my Vlogmas. It's pretty low contrast. So I think in this really nice light, you can, even if it were way back here, I think you can get a good idea of what the pattern looks like. But I thought maybe I could give that green a punch by putting in mohair. So literally like 20 minutes before I set up this channel recording, I got mohair from Neighborhood Fibre Company. She is my go-to for mohair, kid mohair silk blends, because she does a special unique blend. So most vendors that sell the kid mohair silk blends, it's a 72-28 blend. This is a 60-40. So it's really beautifully soft, and it has a nice amount of halo. So anyway, I went on to Neighborhood Fibre Company as soon as I swatched this and was like, not sure this is working. Maybe I could punch it up by adding a mohair strand in with the green. I went on to Neighborhood Fibre Company's site and found a green that I thought was a good match, and I actually think it is better than I thought, because I thought it was going to be a little bit bluer, but it's actually pretty darn perfect. It's a pretty darn perfect match. And I think that that adding a mohair strand will not take away from those red flecks too much, which I love. Like, I love those red flecks in it, in this yarn. But yeah, I can't wait to cake this and do a knit swatch and see how that looks, because I think that might just give this swatch the kick that it needs. So this might be something I'm sharing with you in the next episode. So yeah, having a little OJ with some cranberry juice. It's good. It's a little tart. It's a little okay. What else? Okay, I think I'm into spinning now. Where am I at time-wise? This is gonna be kind of a short one, I think, because I didn't do whiskey chatter. All right, I finished a skein. I finished a spin. This is, the color is Countess Ablaze, Heart's Beguilement. It is a Corridel, 85% Corridel, 15% sea cell blend. I'm popping all of that info on screen right now so you can see. This yarn, I have a sweater's quantity of it. This is, I'm now halfway through. I have the other amount here, the other skein here that's already caked. So there you go. Couple things. I started this spin back in June or July. I spun this, and then I had like this, oh gosh, this yarn, this fiber, it didn't spin the way I wanted it to. Like, I'm not seeing the colors I expected. I don't know what I expected. It had a lot of red in it, and it's a really red heavy skein. I don't tend to wear a lot of red, but honestly, like, this yarn is going to look amazing in this design. It's going to look great. I can't wait to do it. So I have been working on this, spinning this, with the idea that this will then be knit into either a second or third version of that design. So that is the idea. I have 2 more skeins to spin. They're both roughly around about 300 yards per 100 grams, say. So they are about a sport weight, which is perfect because they are mimicking the thickness of the Qing Fibre. So, and that is a sport weight pattern. You could also use fingering weight, I think, for that. But okay, so there's a couple differences between these 2 skeins. One was something that was my doing. Well, no, they were both my doing, but one was intentional, one was unintentional. Okay, so intentional, what happened here with this skein, I actively color managed the red and blue. So that, it might be reading as gray, but it's actually a pale aqua color. In this skein, I separated those 2 colors. I separated the red from the blue. And when I spun, and then I did end to end. So I did sections, like lengthy sections that were just red, lengthy sections that were just blue, and then I made 2 bobbins and then plied those 2 bobbins. So I got some sections that are barber pulling the red and blue together, and then other sections that are just blue, and other sections that are just red. Sorry, my camera is having a hard time. Okay. You can see it good there. Okay, that's one thing I did. That was the intentional thing I did. So this skein, what I did was the first bobbin, I did not color manage at all. I just let the fibers fall wherever they wanted. So you can see it's more heathered. It's a more heathered skein. I get a little bit of barber pulling, but not nearly to the degree that I get with this one, right? So you can see that there. So there are sections that are purely blue, purely red, and then barber pull. This is more heathered. All right, so that was, I was trying it out to just see what happened, and I realized that I really liked the effect of this skein more. I liked what I was getting here versus what I was getting here, like the straight heather, because this is really just reading red. the blue really becomes a background color. Whereas when I was actively color managing it, as I did in this one, the blue has still got a voice, right? But here it doesn't really have a voice at all. It's just sort of in the background. It's like a background singer at a David Bowie concert, right? Where this is David Bowie singing with Mick Jagger. Not exactly, but you get what I'm saying. Okay, so the other thing that I noticed between the two skeins is that this is spun so much better. Like, my spinning has really progressed. I am so much stronger of a spinner. I did a much better job plying. The plying is much smoother than it is on this one. Like this one, you can see, I think you can see the difference, right? I mean, this looks so much more rustic than this one. This one looks more professional. It's just how it goes. I don't think it'll be something that'll be strongly noticeable in the knit, but yeah, that was cool to see though, the progress that I made in my spinning. Okay, that is the spin. Is this the only spin that I got done in the last 2 weeks? Yeah, this is it. I haven't been spinning much just because I've been knitting more. I have stuff I'm dying to spin. I'm going to show you right now, actually. I got some Stackwisitions that are spin related. So I joined Olann, O-L-A, here, let me show you. O-L-A-N-N, Olann. It's pronounced Olann, like with a U. From UK. She opened up a spinning fiber club that was unique and luxury fiber. So this is really cool and special. So let me read to you what she said it is. It is mulberry silk, Suri alpaca, and natural tweed. It's 125 grams. And this was month 1 of the spin club. So I got this and I really just wanted to put it on the spinning wheel and spin, except that I was gift knitting. So I was like, no. I gotta make myself gift knit. I need to get through it. I just need to get through it. But this is, oh my gosh, is this not gorgeous? I really can't wait to see how this ends up spinning. I hope it looks a lot like this multicolor rainbow, this pastel rainbow. I could actively color manage it. I don't think I'm going to. I think I'm just going to divide the braid in two by if you don't already own one, a digital scale, get yourself one if you're a spinner. It'll really save you a lot of heartache when it comes to knitting and spinning. They're really, really handy to have, and they're inexpensive. You can get them on Amazon for under $20. Well worth it. Less than a skein. Anyway, I am looking forward to seeing what else I get from Olann. I love that these indie dyers that whose yarn I have collected over the past few years are doing fiber. Like, they haven't always done fiber, or maybe they have and I just didn't notice, but Stitch Together Studio does fiber. I love her yarn and her fiber so much. So Olann, this was the first time I'd seen fiber, so I was super happy to see her fiber. But yeah, that is one acquisition. This next fiber acquisition is a doozy. So there may be some crinkling. I'm going to warn you now. There may be some crinkling. But totally worth it. And then after this, I think I am done. Okay, so I joined... See, I shouldn't have done this ahead of Rhinebeck, because before Rhinebeck I had hardly any fiber. Like, I had just a dab of fiber to work on. But I thought I need to expand my fiber stash because I am doing, I'm spinning now. So, and I love spinning. It's so fun and it's so relaxing, and it just, like, I love that process of color management. I find that so stimulating creatively and stuff. So a head of Rhinebeck. That was the Olann was a head of Rhinebeck and also a head of Rhinebeck. I also joined Frost Yarn Batt Club, and she decided to ship the entire club in one go. So she did a whole bunch of clubs. It's Nicole Frost of Frost Yarn. She lives in California, and she had bought a big piece of equipment, an expensive piece of equipment for her dyeing business, and then shared with people that follow her that she now needed to make some money to pay for this piece of equipment. And so she put up a bunch of club listings, and the Fiber Club was one that she put up that I was interested in. And I have never bought her yarn or her fiber, but I am going to be a loyal customer. So you may see much more of this. So anyway, I got my club shipment a day and a half ago. I'm going to share it with you because it is stunning. Stunning. I mean, wow, wow, wow. So I got 3 bats in one shipment. This is one of them. This is called Teal and Terracotta Cliffs. So look at it. It is just amazing. Amazing. Look at that gradient that she did with the blue and the terracotta. It seems to be those colors through and through, like on the inside as well. I mean, look at that. Look at that. Wow, wow, wow. Just amazing. This color, I'm going to think hard about the color management of it because the blue and rust colors could very quickly make brown. So I will probably actively manage these 2 colors to keep them apart in the spin, because if I combine them, I'll just have this like, see the color of the cabinet behind me over here? This is probably the color I'll end up with, maybe something like that. And I don't want that because I didn't pay for brown. I paid for these beautiful colors. And also I want to be true to the vision of this terracotta and teal cliffs. So, yeah. In terms of content, it is here. Let me show you her card. Merino Polworth bamboo silk. Sorry about the lack of focus. Hi camera. There we go. 4 ounces. It says it was $40. I don't remember what I paid. I bought all 3 at the same time. It might have been 120. I'm not sure. Okay. But wait, there's more. That was just 1 month. Okay, so this was the 2nd month. This is called Malibu Palms. And look at that. Look at this bat. I mean, is this not amazing and to die for? I mean, this is like Malibu sunset. Again, like from a color management perspective, adding the blue, adding these warm tones that are up here with these cool tones will make brown. So I will think hard about how to manage these colors and how I want to spin them and what type of yarn I want to get. But geez, wow. Wow, wow, wow. And this one came with these lovely little locks that I can intersperse throughout the spin, which will be fun. So that was also for it. The content is the same: merino, Polworth, bamboo silk, and some nylon and Angelina. That's her business card, by the way. Finally, my last one is called, this is, I'm going to probably mispronounce it, but you people who are into chickens, you'll probably know this, but it's the name of a black rooster called I am Simani. Probably totally butchering that. Okay, look at that. This is more of a color that I could easily I don't have to color manage at all. I can just let whatever happens happen. Because these colors are all in the same area of the color wheel. But isn't it pretty? This will make a really cool contrast color. And now that I've opened these, I feel like I'm never gonna get them. It's like once you let it out of the bag, you can never get it back in. It's that. Yeah, this is gonna be challenging. But, they're so beautiful. I'm so excited. Like those were worth it. Those were worth it. Those were worth every penny I paid. Those are like next level bats. Those are really, really spectacular. I wish she lived closer to me or was going to fiber festivals by me, because she is definitely one that I would like to go visit in person and see what she's made, so that I can kind of pick out a sweater's quantity of it, of the fiber. It's just so beautiful. I think my favorite might be the Malibu Palm. Is that what she called it? Malibu Palms? Yeah, Malibu Palms. I think that might be my favorite. Probably because it's rainbow. Because I love rainbow. And apparently she does too, because look at the rainbows on her card. Anyway, thank you so much for spending time with me. I deeply appreciate it. If you want to see more about my life and about my Advents, please watch my Vlogmases. I open Advents pretty early on, so if you can't commit to the entire 15 or 20 minutes that they are, you can usually get the Advent fiber and yarns that I'm opening right in the beginning, as well as the Whiskey Advents. I have 4 Advents. I'm opening a 100% fiber one, 100% yarn mini one, a whiskey one, and then I have 12 days of one yarn followed by a 7-day yarn one. So it's a lot of stuff to look at and get excited about. And yeah, as always, I will share with you everything that I'm planning to knit and that I am knitting and spinning. And thank you again for being with me. Please subscribe and hit the thumbs up if you liked what you saw, and I look forward to sharing more with you in a few weeks. Have a wonderful couple weeks. Enjoy the holiday season, and I will see you soon. Bye.